What's up, everybody? It's your man, Pinaki Ike here, and today we're diving deep into the world of cybersecurity with ISO 27001 2022. This standard is the backbone of a secure digital life. It's the gold standard for establishing and improving an information security management system. We'll explore the 37 organizational controls of Annex A. Think of it like tweaking your digital life settings to fortify against cyber threats. By the end, you'll know how to build a security fortress around your valuable data. First up, we're tackling the bedrock of any good security setup, information security policies. Think of these as the constitution for your data, the overarching guidelines that set the tone for everything else. They need to be clear, concise, and, most importantly, accessible to everyone in the organization. Communicate these policies effectively, ensuring everyone understands their role in maintaining a secure environment. All right, we've got our security constitution in place. Now it's time to build the government. This is where organizing your information security comes into play. Establish a clear structure of authority, responsibility, and communication channels. You need a well-defined structure with clear roles to ensure everyone knows their position. The same goes for information security. All right, so we've covered the foundational policies and the structure of information security. Now let's talk about the human element. Most security breaches come down to human error. That's why human resource security is crucial. This section of ISO 27001 dives into managing information security risks related to your people. From hiring to offboarding, it covers secure practices throughout the employee lifecycle. So, we've tackled the human aspect of information security. Now let's talk about the assets themselves, the digital crown jewels of your organization. Asset management means knowing exactly what you need to protect. Identify and inventory all your information assets, both physical and digital. Understand the value of each asset and the potential impact if compromised. You've got your security team in place, you've identified your valuable assets, now it's time to secure the perimeter. This is where access control comes in, and it's like having a team of digital bouncers deciding who gets in and where. Chapter 5 of ISO 27001 is all about making sure only authorized personnel have access to your information assets. You'd want different levels of access depending on their role and responsibilities. This section dives deep into different access control methods, from good old passwords and multi-factor authentication to more advanced techniques like biometrics and network segmentation. All right, let's talk about cryptography, which sounds complicated, but it's really about keeping your information secret. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want your passwords just floating around for anyone to grab, right? Cryptography is like putting those passwords in a super secure lockbox that only you have the key for. We're talking about scrambling your data so that even if someone gets their hands on it, it's just a jumbled mess without the right decryption key. Think about things like protecting data while it's traveling across the internet, or even just sitting on your hard drive. Okay, so we've talked about protecting your data in the digital world, but what about the physical one? That's where physical and environmental security come in. It's all about protecting the actual equipment and locations where your data lives. You don't want just anyone waltzing in and potentially compromising sensitive information. This is where things like access control systems, surveillance cameras, and good old-fashioned locks come into play. Environmental controls are important too. You need to think about things like fire suppression systems and temperature control, and even making sure there's adequate power backup in case of an outage. So when you see a company investing in robust physical and environmental security measures, it's a sign they're serious about protecting your data from all angles. So we've covered how to protect your data at rest and the physical places it's stored. Operations security ensures your IT operations are secure. It covers software updates and patches and making sure your backups run smoothly. Procedures minimize human error or malicious activity. Change management is key. Plan, test, and implement changes carefully. Monitor for suspicious activity and analyze logs. Be ready to respond quickly if something goes wrong. All right, so we've talked about securing the physical stuff, but what about the data flying through the airwaves? That's where communication security comes in. Think of it like the digital bouncer for your network. This control focuses on protecting information while it's being transmitted, whether it's a simple email, a confidential video conference, or even just browsing the web. You've got firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and VPNs all working together to keep the bad guys out. Imagine trying to have a private conversation in a crowded room. It's tough, right? That's what your data faces without proper communication security. Suddenly, eavesdropping, data leaks, and even impersonation become real threats. That's why this control is so crucial. It's all about making sure your data has a secure tunnel to travel through, no matter where it's going. From basic encryption to advanced network segmentation, it's about building a fortress around your data's journey. So, you're adding a new system to your tech stack, exciting times. But before you hit that install button, let's talk about Control 10. Bake security into every stage of a system's lifecycle. Think of it like choosing the right ingredients and recipe. It's not just about buying the most expensive firewall, it's about thinking about security from the very beginning. And are you patching vulnerabilities like it's nobody's business? Neglecting any area is like leaving a window open in your digital fortress. Be proactive, not reactive, and ensure security is deeply ingrained in your tech DNA. We're all connected, right? And in the digital world, that includes your suppliers. Control 11's Supplier Relationships is all about making sure those connections don't become weak links in your security chain. Think about it, if your data is secure but your suppliers isn't, you've got a problem. This control is about setting clear expectations with vendors, making sure they meet your security standards, and holding them accountable. It's like choosing a trusted courier service for a valuable package. You don't just hand it over without checking their track record, right? You want to know they'll handle it with care and get it to the destination safely. That's what this control is all about, due diligence. From contract negotiations to ongoing monitoring, it's about making sure your suppliers are as invested in your security posture as you are. Because in the interconnected world of business, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. All right, so you've got your security policies in place, you've trained your people, and you think you're all set, right? Well, not so fast. Incidents can still happen. That's where incident management comes in. It's about having a plan for when things go sideways. Think of it like a fire drill. You don't expect a fire every day, but you do it so everyone knows what to do if the alarm goes off. Having a clear process for identifying, reporting, and responding to incidents is crucial. This section digs into setting up an effective incident management process. Okay, let's talk about business continuity. Imagine this. A major server outage, a natural disaster, or even something like a global pandemic throws a wrench in your operations. What's your plan? That's what business continuity management is all about. Making sure your organization can keep running even when the unexpected happens. Now, this isn't just about backing up your data. It's about identifying your critical business functions, understanding their dependencies, and having a plan to restore them as quickly and efficiently as possible. Think of it like having a backup generator for your house. When the power goes out, you flip a switch, and boom, you're back in business. This chapter dives into how information security plays a crucial role in all of this. We're talking about protecting your backup systems, securing communication channels during an incident, and ensuring that your data recovery plans are up to snuff. Because when it comes to business continuity, downtime is not an option. All right, let's talk about compliance. It's important. Compliance isn't just about checking boxes, it's about taking security seriously. Handling sensitive data means you must comply with regulations. This includes PCI DSS for payment card security and HIPAA for healthcare data. Non-compliance can lead to hefty penalties. Compliance builds trust with customers and partners. All right, diving into information security risk management. It's about being smart and prepared. Every device and data piece has risk. Identify vulnerabilities, assess likelihood and impact. Make informed decisions to protect assets. Be ready for breaches and failures. A solid risk management framework is key. Next up, Chapter 17, and we're tackling information security in project management. Integrate security into every stage of your projects, from planning to execution. Security shouldn't be an afterthought. Bake security into your projects from the start. Addressing security up front builds a stronger foundation. Ensure your team is trained and aware of their security responsibilities. All right, Chapter 18, and it's time to wrangle in the wild west of mobile device management. It's not just laptops and desktops accessing your network. Smartphones, tablets, even smartwatches are potential entry points. A robust MDM strategy is essential. Secure, monitor, and manage all devices accessing your company's data. Enforce strong passwords, remotely wipe lost devices, and control app installations. Balance flexibility and security. All right, so we're all about that work-life balance, and sometimes that means working from the couch or the coffee shop. But when you're taking your work outside the traditional office, security becomes crucial. Think about it. You're accessing sensitive company data on networks that might not be secure. Use strong passwords and secure VPNs. Be mindful of shoulder surfers. A little effort goes a long way in keeping your data safe. So we're talking about secure development, and this isn't just for the coding wizards out there. Whether you're building the next big app or just tweaking some code for your website, security has to be baked in from the start. It's like laying a strong foundation. You can't just slap it on later. ISO 27001 gets this, and it lays out a framework for integrating security into every stage of the development lifecycle. Think of it like this. You're not just writing code, you're building a fortress around your data. That means secure coding practices, vulnerability testing, and regular security assessments throughout the entire process. It's about anticipating threats before they even become a problem. And the cool thing is, when you build with security in mind, you're not just protecting your data, you're building trust with your users. In the digital age, that's invaluable. All right, we've talked about building secure systems, but what about the settings? You know, those default passwords, open ports, and unnecessary services that can leave your systems vulnerable. Yeah, we need to talk about secure configuration. It's like this. You can have the most secure software and hardware in the world, but if it's not configured properly, it's like leaving your front door wide open. And that's where ISO 27001 comes in clutch. It emphasizes the importance of establishing secure baseline configurations, hardening your systems, and regularly reviewing and updating those settings. Think of it as fine-tuning your defenses. And the best part? A lot of this is about being proactive. Disable unnecessary features, enforce strong passwords, and keep those systems updated. Trust me, a little configuration goes a long way in preventing those oops moments down the line. All right, let's talk about vulnerability management, which is like having a security system for your security system. You're not just setting it and forgetting it, you're actively looking for weak points before someone else does. This is about being proactive. Always scanning for vulnerabilities in your systems and software. Think of it like regularly checking your phone for the latest software updates, but on a much larger scale. You need a system to identify, assess, and prioritize vulnerabilities. This could be anything from outdated software to misconfigured firewalls, even that one weird setting you never knew about. And just like you wouldn't ignore a critical security update on your phone, you can't ignore these vulnerabilities. You've got to have a plan to remediate them, whether that's patching, upgrading, or completely replacing the vulnerable component. And this isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process of scanning, assessing, and patching. Because the threat landscape is constantly evolving, new vulnerabilities are being discovered all the time. Staying on top of vulnerability management means you're always one step ahead, making sure your defenses are as strong as they can be. Now, let's dive into logging and monitoring, which is like having a security camera system for your IT infrastructure. Keep a record of what's happening, who's accessing what and when. Think of it as your system's black box, providing valuable data if something goes wrong. Actively monitor data for suspicious activity. Set up alerts for specific events, like multiple failed login attempts or unauthorized access to sensitive data. Respond to alerts quickly. Time is of the essence. Effective logging and monitoring can catch a security breach early. We often talk about the latest apps and software, but what about the unsung heroes, the operational software that keeps everything running behind the scenes? These are the backbone of your IT infrastructure, and just like any other software, they need to be managed securely. This means having a clear process for acquiring, installing, and configuring this software. You want to make sure you're getting it from trusted sources, verifying its integrity, and setting it up with the right security configurations. And it doesn't stop there. You also need to keep this software up to date with the latest security patches and updates. And just like with any other software, you want to have a plan for decommissioning and removing operational software when it's no longer needed. Controlling your operational software is crucial for maintaining a secure and stable environment. All right, so we've talked about a lot of controls, but this one is all about playing defense. Technical vulnerability management. It's like having a security system for your network, constantly scanning for weak points. Some are known, some are not. Technical vulnerability management is about finding those vulnerabilities before someone with bad intentions does. New vulnerabilities pop up all the time, so you need a system that's constantly updating. And this isn't just about finding the vulnerabilities, it's about fixing them too. We're talking about information security in supplier relationships, and let me tell you, this is a big one. You can have the most secure systems, but if your suppliers aren't secure, you're still vulnerable. Think of it like a chain. It's only as strong as its weakest link. If one supplier has lax security, it's a potential entry point for hackers. Choose the right suppliers. Ensure they take information security seriously. Monitor their performance regularly. All right, let's talk about information security and customer relationships. This is all about building trust because in the digital age, your customers' data is like gold and they need to know you're going to protect it. It's about transparency. You need to be upfront with your customers about what data you collect, how you use it, and how you're keeping it safe. Think of it like a privacy policy, but make it clear, concise, and easy to understand. Nobody wants to read through pages of legal jargon, and it's not just about protecting their data, it's about giving them the tools to protect themselves. Things like strong password requirements, two-factor authentication, and educating them about phishing scams. Empower your customers to be security conscious. Ultimately, it's about building a relationship of trust. When your customers know you take their security seriously, they're more likely to stick around. All right, let's talk about the cloud. It's everywhere these days, right? But information security is a whole different ball game. You're handing over your data to a third party. ISO 27001 helps you ask the right questions. How secure is the provider's infrastructure? It's about making sure your data is locked down tight. Outsourcing, it's a fact of life for many businesses. Whether it's customer service, IT support, or even core functions, you're relying on someone else to get the job done. But when it comes to information security, things can get tricky. You're essentially trusting another company with your sensitive data and systems. This is where this section of ISO 27001 becomes crucial. It's about setting clear expectations and controls when you're outsourcing any activity that involves handling sensitive information. Think of it like this. You're hiring a contractor to renovate your house. You wouldn't just hand them the keys and walk away, right? You'd have a contract, specify the materials, and oversee their work. Similarly, with outsourcing and information security, you need clear agreements on data handling, access controls, incident response, and more. This section provides a framework for ensuring your partners are just as committed to security as you are. Mergers and acquisitions, they can be exciting times for companies, full of potential and growth. But they can also be a minefield for information security. You're essentially blending two different IT environments, security cultures, and sets of sensitive data. And that's where this section of ISO 27001 comes in. It's like a prenup for your company's data during a merger or acquisition. It helps you identify and mitigate the risks before they even become an issue. Think about it. You're combining two families with different habits and house rules. You need to establish some ground rules early on, right? Same goes for merging IT systems and security protocols. This section covers everything from due diligence and risk assessments to data migration and post-merger integration. It's about making sure the I do at the merger ceremony doesn't turn into an oh no when it comes to your data security. All right, so you're divesting. It's like hitting the undo button on part of your business. Could be selling off a product line, maybe spinning off a whole subsidiary, whatever the reason. One thing's for sure, you've got to handle the data with care. First up, figure out what data's involved. Is it customer info, financial records, intellectual property, different data, different rules? Then who gets what? Does the buyer need access to everything or just a subset? Get those agreements locked down tight. And don't forget about securing the data during the transfer. You're moving valuable assets, so treat them like it. Encryption, secure channels, the whole 9 yards. Last but not least, what happens to the data you're transferring? Deletion, archival? Make a plan and stick to it. Divestitures can be messy, but the data part doesn't have to be. Joint ventures, man. 2 or more companies teaming up, combining their powers like some kind of corporate superhero squad. Sounds exciting, right? It is, but it also means sharing resources, and that includes data. So how do you make sure everyone's speaking the same security language? You got to establish a clear, concise agreement up front. Outline everyone's responsibilities when it comes to protecting that shared data. Think of it like a prenup for data. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And remember, not all data is created equal. Some of it might be extra sensitive, requiring an extra layer of protection. We're talking multi-factor authentication, stricter access controls, the works. Finally, don't forget about the exit strategy. What happens to the data if the joint venture dissolves? Having a plan in place from the get-go just makes good business sense. Partnerships, gotta love them. You're stronger together, taking on the world side by side. But when you're sharing resources and data, things can get complicated, especially on the security front. So how do you make sure you're both on the same page? Communication is key, people. Before you share any sensitive info, establish clear security requirements. Think of it like a digital handshake, making sure you're both speaking the same language when it comes to protecting that data. And don't just set it and forget it. Regularly review and update your security practices together. The threat landscape is constantly evolving, so you've got to stay agile. Finally, remember that trust is earned, not given. Make sure both partners are holding up their end of the bargain when it comes to security. All right, so we've talked about a lot of different business relationships and how important information security is for each of them, but things get even more interesting with alliances. Two companies, each with their own data and systems, teaming up. Now you're sharing information with another organization. This can be a disaster if you're not careful. That's why having a solid plan is crucial. Clear guidelines and agreed upon security protocols are essential. Think of it like building a secure bridge between companies. Strong foundations and a secure connection are key. Nobody wants to deal with a security incident, so make sure you've got your security ducks in a row. Consortia. It's a word you don't hear every day, but in the business world it's a pretty big deal. Imagine a group of companies, sometimes even competitors, coming together to tackle a shared challenge. Now imagine the amount of data that gets thrown around. It's a lot. And where there's a lot of data, there's always the potential for security risks. You're responsible for safeguarding information that belongs to multiple organizations. Each member needs to be on the same page with security protocols and incident response plans. Remember, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. All right, let's talk about R&D, the engine room of innovation. This is where the magic happens, where companies are developing the next big thing. With all that groundbreaking research comes a whole lot of valuable data. And we all know what happens when valuable data falls into the wrong hands. That's why information security and R&D is absolutely critical. Implement strict access controls and encrypt sensitive data. All right, so you've got your product, you've got your message, and you're ready to get the word out. But hold on, marketing campaigns often involve handling sensitive data, customer lists, contact info, maybe even proprietary research. That's where information security and ISO 27001 come in. Think of it as building a fortress around your marketing efforts. Controls ensure only authorized access to materials. Customer data is handled with care, and strategies stay out of competitors' hands. Protecting from both external and internal threats, establish clear guidelines for your team. A well-protected campaign is a successful campaign. Sales, the lifeblood of any business, crushing quotas, closing deals and bringing in the big bucks, handling sensitive information, customer details, financial records, contracts. It's a goldmine of data attracting unwanted attention. ISO 27001 provides that extra layer of security, implementing access controls for authorized personnel, encrypting sensitive information to keep it secure, securing sales communications, emails, proposals, presentations. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 37 organizational controls of ISO 27001 2022. We've covered a ton of ground, from risk management and access control to securing your marketing and sales operations. Remember, implementing these controls is not just about checking boxes. It's about building a culture of security within your organization, a culture where everyone understands the importance of protecting sensitive information. I hope this series has given you the knowledge and tools you need to navigate the world of ISO 27001 and level up your organization's security posture. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more informative content, and share this video with your friends, colleagues, and even your grandma. because everyone needs a little more security in their lives. Until next time, stay safe, stay secure, and keep those firewalls strong. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to delve into the specific controls outlined in ISO 27001/2022. These controls are meticulously designed to ensure the security of information within an organization. Over the course of this series, we've provided a detailed explanation of each control, along with real-world examples and best practices for implementation. But why stop here? Understanding these controls in depth can truly elevate your security posture. Each control is not just a guideline, but a crucial component of a robust information security management system. From developing comprehensive information security policies to managing the intricacies of supplier relationships, every control plays a pivotal role. By following these controls, you can create a more secure environment that protects sensitive information, mitigates risks, and fosters a culture of security awareness. So take this knowledge and apply it diligently within your organization. Remember, the journey to information security is ongoing. Stay tuned for more content as we continue to explore and demystify the complexities of ISO 27001. Until then, stay informed, stay secure, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in information security. Welcome to the final segment, where we bring theory to life by showcasing the real-world application of the ISO 27001/2022 controls. Let's dive into scenarios that illustrate how these controls are implemented in various organizational contexts. Control 1. Information security policies. Imagine a multinational corporation developing a comprehensive set of policies to address data protection laws across different countries. These policies guide employees on handling sensitive customer data, ensuring compliance with regional regulations. Control 2. Organization of information security. Consider a tech startup that establishes a dedicated information security team. This team is responsible for defining security roles and responsibilities, creating a robust framework to manage and safeguard the company's digital assets. Control 3. Human resource security. Picture an organization that integrates security training into its onboarding process. New hires are educated about phishing attacks, social engineering, and their role in maintaining the company's security posture. Control 4. Asset management. Think about a financial institution that meticulously tracks and categorizes its information assets. Each asset is assigned a value and appropriate security measures to prevent unauthorized access or loss. Control 5. Access control. Envision a healthcare provider implementing strict access control measures. Only authorized personnel can access patient records, ensuring confidentiality and compliance with healthcare regulations. Control 6. Cryptography. Imagine an e-commerce platform encrypting customer payment information. This ensures that sensitive data remains secure during transactions and storage, protecting customers from potential breaches. Control 7. Physical and environmental security. Picture a data center with advanced physical security measures such as biometric access controls, surveillance cameras, and environmental controls to protect servers from physical threats. Control 8. Operations security. Consider a manufacturing company that adopts stringent operational procedures to ensure the integrity and security of its production systems, minimizing the risk of disruptions and cyber threats. Control 9. Communication security. Think about a law firm that uses secure communication channels for client correspondence. This ensures that sensitive legal information is protected from interception during transmission. Control 10. System acquisition, development, and maintenance. Envision a software development company integrating security checks at every stage of the development lifecycle, from initial design to maintenance, ensuring robust and secure products. Control 11. Supplier relationships. Picture a retail chain including security requirements in its contracts with third-party suppliers, ensuring that all partners adhere to the same high standards of information security. Control 12. Information security incident management. Imagine a government agency with a well-defined incident response plan. When a security breach occurs, the team swiftly assesses, contains, and mitigates the impact, ensuring minimal disruption. Control 13. Information security aspects of business continuity management. Consider a financial services firm embedding information security into its business continuity plans, ensuring that critical operations can continue during a disruption. Control 14. Compliance. Think about a pharmaceutical company adhering to stringent regulations for data protection and patient privacy, ensuring that all information security measures comply with relevant laws. Control 15. Information security risk management. Envision an energy company conducting regular risk assessments to identify and mitigate potential threats to its critical infrastructure, ensuring uninterrupted service delivery. Control 16. Information security and project management. Picture a construction company integrating security measures into its project management processes, protecting sensitive data and intellectual property throughout the project lifecycle. Control 17. Mobile device management. Imagine a consulting firm implementing mobile device management solutions to secure employees' devices, ensuring that company data remains protected when accessed remotely. Control 18. Teleworking. Consider a global corporation providing secure access solutions for remote workers, ensuring that teleworking does not compromise the organization's information security. Control 19. Secure development. Think about a gaming company following secure coding practices, regularly testing for vulnerabilities and releasing patches to maintain the security of its software products. Control 20. Secure configuration. Envision a telecommunications provider maintaining secure configurations for its network equipment, reducing the risk of unauthorized access and service disruptions. Control 21. Vulnerability management. Picture an airline conducting regular vulnerability assessments and promptly addressing identified weaknesses to protect its information systems from potential threats. Control 22. Logging and monitoring. Imagine a financial institution implementing comprehensive logging and monitoring systems to detect and respond to suspicious activities in real time, ensuring the security of its transactions. Control 23. Control of operational software. Consider a logistics company controlling the deployment of operational software, ensuring that only authorized and tested applications are used in its operations. Control 24. Technical vulnerability management. Think about a telecommunications company managing technical vulnerabilities by regularly updating its systems and applying security patches to protect against known threats. Control 25. Information security in supplier relationships. Envision a healthcare provider managing information security in its supplier relationships, ensuring that all third-party vendors comply with the organization's security standards. Control 26. Information security in customer relationships. Picture an e-commerce platform managing information security in its customer relationships, ensuring that customer data is protected throughout the transaction process. Control 27. Information security in cloud services. Imagine a tech company managing information security in its cloud services, ensuring that data stored in the cloud is protected from unauthorized access and breaches. Control 28. Information security in outsourcing. Consider a financial institution managing information security in its outsourcing arrangements, ensuring that third-party service providers adhere to the same security standards as the organization. Control 29. Information security in mergers and acquisitions. Think about a corporation managing information security during mergers and acquisitions, ensuring that the integration of new entities does not compromise the organization's security posture. Control 30. Information security in divestitures. Envision a company managing information security during divestitures, ensuring that sensitive data is protected and securely transferred during the separation process. Control 31. Information security in joint ventures. Picture a tech startup managing information security in its joint ventures, ensuring that collaborative projects are conducted securely and data is protected. Control 32. Information security in partnerships. Imagine a pharmaceutical company managing information security in its partnerships, ensuring that shared information is protected and secure. Control 33. Information security in alliances. Consider a research institution managing information security in its alliances, ensuring that collaborative research projects are conducted securely and data is protected. Control 34. Information security in consortia. Think about a consortium of universities managing information security, ensuring that shared research data is protected and secure. Control 35. Information security in research and development. Envision a tech company managing information security in its research and development activities, ensuring that innovative projects are conducted securely. Control 36, Information Security in Marketing. Picture a retail company managing information security in its marketing activities, ensuring that customer data is protected during promotional campaigns. Control 37, Information Security in Sales. Imagine a manufacturing company managing information security in its sales activities, ensuring that sensitive customer information is protected throughout the sales process. By applying these controls in real-world scenarios, organizations can significantly enhance their information security posture. Remember, the key to successful implementation lies in understanding the context and tailoring the controls to meet specific business needs. Stay proactive, stay secure, and continue to build a resilient information security framework.